Welcome to northern Wisconsin, where we're making cowboy candy. And let me first start by saying that my only regret in making this video is that we don't own a cowboy hat, or boots, or spurs, or even a freaking snap gun, because that would be fun. But here we are. We've got jalapenos, we've got green peppers. We were shooting for 3 pounds of these. We've got
about 3 pounds of jalapenos.
Yeah.
The recipe we're going for calls for 6 pounds of jalapenos, but we don't have that. And we also are not a huge fan of super hot things. So we halved the amount of hot peppers with a medium pepper and a hot pepper, just to tone down the heat a little.
We get more pepper that way.
Yeah. And we'll also be seeding most of them. We'll add a couple of seeds, but we'll be pulling most of the seeds out of the jalapenos because we'd rather be able to pellet it than not be able to eat it whatsoever.
Okay, we got coffee, we got gloves, we got knives, we got cutting boards. Let's start cutting these up.
Yeah. For the most part, I'm just gonna stick a finger through it, and if there's some seeds on it, I don't really care. These are pretty developed jalapenos. Yes.
So what do we do with cowboy candy? I've never actually had cowboy candy before.
I've never had it either. It seems delicious. Basically, it's candied jalapenos. So we'll be making like an apple cider vinegar simple syrup, essentially, and then canning everything together with some other spices. And it just sounds delicious, and it's used as a relish or a topping on some crackers, or I think some people have made chili with it. You know, add it to your chili, you get the jalapenos, and then you get a little bit of a sweeter one, but it's a sweet and spicy flavor overall. That's a wrong bowl.
I relish this opportunity to make it with you in our yard this afternoon, honey.
Thank you. How long have you been waiting to say that?
Since I asked you that question, it was a leading question. I was hoping you were going to say relish somewhere in there. Just like gardening, you got to plant that seed and then harvest that baby. We've got reusable canning lids that we've never tried before.
Yes, so we have Harvest Guard reusable lids that have the plastic cover with the rubber gasket, and we're going to be testing out 2 of those while canning these, which, you know, just doing a test and see how it goes. We watched a couple of videos from Jill Winger and watched her how to can with them and her tips. So we'll be utilizing that method of tightening the jars down less in the beginning before you put them in the water bather, and then a little bit harder than you would right after you get them out of the water bather. Alright, let's assemble the brine. So for this recipe, it calls for, and I don't have it memorized, 4 cups of apple cider vinegar. And I do not have that much apple cider vinegar, but I do have kombucha vinegar. Now, I brewed this kombucha probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and it is fully fermented. It has actually started to evaporate. It was a full jar of kombucha, and it has slowly evaporated it had a cotton cover on the top. So I tested the pH of both the apple cider vinegar and the kombucha vinegar. The kombucha vinegar is actually more acidic than the apple cider vinegar. It's at a 2.5, and the apple cider vinegar was at a 3. So I'm going to use it as a substitute for the apple cider vinegar in this recipe. And if anybody knows anything about kombucha vinegar and the uses, or if they've used it as substitutes, please let us know, because I would like to use it much more often in use with our livestock, as well as cooking and cleaning, because I think it's a lot easier to make kombucha than it is to make apple cider vinegar. So 4 cups of vinegar, and then obviously you don't want to get your SKOBY in there. Pour that in our pot. And then since this is basically a simple syrup vinegar recipe, it calls for 12 cups of sugar. Now, when you're measuring out sugar, it's very easy to do the math in your head when you realize that 1 cup of sugar is a half a pound. So it calls for 12 cups. I have 6 pounds of sugar here, so I know that I can just dump this entire bag into my pot and not have to actually measure out the 12 cups. So 1 cup of sugar is equal to a half a pound. And in the meantime, I also have our jars in the canner, and they are warming and sanitizing. I've already checked the rims and the lids, and they're all new lids and have no chips in the rims. In addition, we're going to be using some granulated garlic, some turmeric, and some cayenne pepper. And I'm going to put, so we really like garlic, and the recipe calls for I think a teaspoon of garlic, but I'm going to put a tablespoon. And 1 teaspoon of turmeric. I'm just going to put about a half a tablespoon. And to add some extra heat, I'm pretty sure the cayenne is optional. I'm going to put a little bit in there since our jalapenos weren't that hot. We're going to add 2 cups of water just to give it a little bit more liquid.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Get a spoon up in there. This thing's cooking. Is that what we want?
Yeah, these need to... I mean, even that is pretty delicious. I'd say...
Ooh, yeah.
What?
Ooh, yeah. That's
I'd say
good.
maybe we could add a little bit more cayenne.
Man, with a little bit of heat in there, that's gonna be.
Do you think we should add more cayenne now?
No, I mean from the jalapenos.
And I'm gonna add another 2 cups of water because it's not quite covering everything. Oh yeah, there we go. So at this point, by adding the jalapenos, we're just kind of cooking them and getting them to a soft point, and then about 10 minutes, then we're going to take them off and put them all in the jars. Let the brine continue to reduce a little, and then put the brine in.
Yeah! We're making cowboy candy. Hit that subscribe button.
If I could just take a minute and appreciate where we were 2 years ago. Right now we're sitting out in our yard with our solar panels working, filming a YouTube video by our compost and our garden shed. You know, 2 years ago we were sitting in the city going, how the hell are we gonna end up making cowboy candy in our yard looking at our solar panels next to our compost and our garden shed? Here we are.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. Very, very grateful.
Oh, the cloud in the sky today there, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Hey there, buckaroo. That's like a cowboy thing, right?
Yeah, there's 2 in that one.
I know. Not sure why you did that to me. Too many?
No, that's good. You could do a little more even. At this point, we're gonna wipe the rims and get the lids on. And then we're also using the Harvest Guard plastic lid with the rubber gasket. And with this one, you still utilize your metal ring just as you would traditionally or with the all-together one. And in this case, you go finger tight and then you unscrew it about a quarter turn because you want more space in that, in between the ring, the gasket, and the plastic for pressure release. So finger tight, and then off about a quarter turn. Well,
what's in this one?
the juice.
Sauce?
The juices.
Oh, goodness. Whew. That'll clean all your sinuses right there.
We processed everything for 15 minutes at a rolling boil, and we're gonna take them out now.
Rapid cooling action. RCA.
And then kind of walk these into the house.
Bingo.
Alright.
Alright, buckaroo. That's what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half pints?
Yep.
2 pints, a schnibbly,
Yep.
and 2 things of Cowboy Candy sauce. So we're gonna check back in. We're gonna give these 24 hours, and we're gonna see how it's sealed, and we'll let you know how these reusable lids did.
Yeah.
Right?
And yeah, we had a little bit of an issue. This one tipped when it was in the canner on the wire rack. So it lost some liquid, and then also we didn't screw the lids back on immediately after they came out. We waited a little bit, so we may have screwed this whole thing up, but I guess we'll see. This is why we do small batches of trying something new. What'd you do?
I've been informed that what you just saw was wrong.
Stop!
Do not touch the tops of the jars. No!
Our jars are cooled. It's been a couple of days, and now that we have our lightly tapped lids, I have taken some of the rings off of them, and most of them have sealed from what I can see. The best way to test a seal is to take the rim off and then pick up from just the jar lid, and if it can hold the weight of whatever's in the jar, you know you have a good seal. For our reusable lids, I have not taken these off, so we'll see. Oh, that one did not seal. This is the one, see how low the liquid is? This is the one that we had some issues with. So we'll put that one in the fridge and eat that one right away, which actually I'm kind of happy because we didn't have any for us to eat immediately and I want to taste them. So for the one that didn't have any issues, that one didn't seal either. I'm not sure why. We'll have to try again. There's nothing wrong with the rim, and doesn't seem to be like sticky or anything.
And we didn't tighten them down right after they came out either,
Yeah.
so we may have screwed that up. So
Yeah.
if you use those, be sure to do that.
Yep. But now we have some fresh eating.
That's a happy accident right there.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Maybe just one is good for now.
Well,
Ooh,
that brown's up. That's good.
that's interesting. Bye! It's not about us, it's about the jars. All right.
I'll puke your milk. Do you have any golden grams on you?
Cacao.
We did this wrong. It's still gonna be good. Milky.